Hey everybody, this is TJ Cates with Nashville Entertainment Weekly, coming to you from Historic Music Row in Nashville, Tennessee. I'm with.
Hi, everybody. This is Jill Santibanez, and look who we have today.
Oh, Eddy Delmonico. That's me.
Who you sitting next to, man? Who's this cool guy?
Well, this is Marcus Barone. Hi, Marcus Barone here. Hi.
Thank you both for joining us today. We're so excited that you guys are in Nashville. You're going to be at the Troubadour, Eddy, tomorrow, and Marcus is with you. And Marcus has an amazing musical background that we can't wait to get into. But let's talk about the Troubadour. Are you excited to play on stage? This is your second time playing on stage in Nashville, which is really awesome.
It is. Yeah, I'm very excited. Actually, this will be my first time actually doing anything solo.
Wow.
So it should be very interesting.
Oh my gosh. This is
Your
great.
first appearance in Nashville on stage was at the Grand Ole Opry and the Opry stage, and that was pretty awesome. We're so glad we got to spend time with you. We're excited about this event tonight, or it's tomorrow night on Saturday. And ladies, he's single and ready to mingle. So, come on up stage and don't be afraid to take a selfie with the rock star. You just have so much charisma and such a nice, bright guy. And I think you're going to go so far, man. So it's got to be nice. All the details that you were telling me yesterday that you put in just to get ready on stage, you're not just showing up. You've actually been coached a lot to get ready for this performance. Tell me what you did.
Well, I've been working with a performance coach in order to kind of, I would say, protect my act, or at least, look like a country western singer. And I've also put a lot of work into my guitars. I've practiced singing quite a bit. I've taken a lot of tips from a lot of people, including Marcus, as to how to do this.
So all these things that get you on stage, does that make you more comfortable, or does that give you too much in your head to think about, or you just want to make sure you're the professional that we know you are?
Well, I really want to make sure I'm professional, and I want to make sure that the people hear my song correctly and I sing well, and I don't disappoint anybody.
Let's hear it, because it's Nashville.
It's going to be amazing.
And if you never played on Nashville, how we started Nashville Entertainment Weekly was knowing the artists would get up there and talk a little bit about themselves. They would talk about the song, and then they would play the song. Like, you get to take your time and introduce the song. What's your 1 minute intro when you get in front of the mic? Because you don't just start playing.
Well, no, I'm going to introduce myself as from Las Vegas. I'm going to say this is my latest song, and I'm going to appreciate being there. And from there, I'm just going to, I guess, take it away. I'm not going to say too much about it. It's a very, very short intro. So Marcus is going to give me the cue, and I'm going to tell the guy to hit it. And you basically go right into that song. It's the one that's over. That one? There's no intro other than like one note in. So I've got to really be on the mark in order to catch it, okay?
That's great.
So Marcus, it's so exciting that you're here with Eddy. You've been a longtime friend of his. And with your film and music background, let's talk about his music, how it relates to you in the business.
Good, thank you. So
Great question.
it's really interesting. Yeah, I'm a film, television, motion picture music supervisor, and I do a lot of placements for music in film and television. I'm doing 4 films right now, and
That is so exciting.
it's fun. It's very interesting to me that Kevin Costner this week had a show called The First Christmas. And it was on NBC. I don't know if you guys saw that.
Yep.
But it was called Kevin Costner's The First Christmas. What's fascinating to me is that Kevin Costner was the host. And the fact that Kevin Costner for the past 10 years has been showrunner, not showrunner, but actually a host of a show called Yellowstone.
Right.
And Taylor Sheridan, along with Costner, Sheridan has opened up a whole new world for Western, neo-Westerns and that type of thing. Eddy here represents to me how you bring Western back to country. Country used to be country Western. Now it's kind of, Western is a big sell and a big buy for people like me who want to place music like Eddy's into motion pictures. So the fact that the fact that the country has shifted now into more for the past, it's actually 8 years now. It's not like 2 years. It's about 8 years that the music industry, especially in country, has shifted west. And Eddy comes from that. Eddy has this sort of soul spirit that there's a lot to say here. And he has a beautiful voice. He's almost Rip Van Winkle in the fact that he has an 18-year-old voice that's been asleep.
It's the
for like
cleanest voice. Oh my goodness.
yeah, for like 65 years or 50 years, his voice has been asleep, and he still sounds like an 18-year-old.
He
But
does.
the fact that he has this Western sound intrigues me to death, and the fact that it's an Americana, type of genre fascinates me. And that's why I'm here to
I
support
think
him.
it's interesting the film and television you talk about, because I've followed Kevin Costner since he was in Silverado, and the music that he played, even from Ken Cup, was all original music, and then the music that they do have in all the other shows, it's original music.
TJ and Jill, what I wanted to add was I have a lot of there's a certain group of people that I represent. Like there's Judy and the Serpents. There's a group of people out west in California that have this Western sound that I'm getting licenses for. I got 4 songs right now from that Western sound in 2 of my movies. And this is the new sound. And if you listen to any of these shows from Yellowstone, Tulsa, okay, Tulsa is another show, Tulsa King, Dark
We love
Winds.
Sylvester
They
Stallone.
just
Yeah.
cast Samuel L. Jackson's in the new season.
Dark Winds. Okay, Dark Winds is another show. These are using country Americana Western music.
They are.
Okay, so we're now Western is actually coming back to country.
I love that.
That's what he's doing. Okay,
I love that.
and that's what he's doing. It's
Good
that
job, Eddie.
soulful type of longing that you only get
Right.
in the big Great Plains. That's what he represents. That's why I'm here. So.
I love it.
Thank you,
It's
man.
like you're getting back to the basic hometown country music, which
Yeah.
everybody loves and everybody misses. And a lot of the people that we've interviewed before in the past, like the Opry stars, they're saying, there's no room for our music in radio anymore because it's just, they don't
Well,
want.
PG Shepard said that 22 #1 hits, and he can't
Right.
get radio play. But I do believe that they are getting radio play. But it's
I
their
feel
old
like it's
ones.
coming back around.
Their new albums are not getting radio play, and that's really sad. But that's why I agree with you 100% in
Back
movies.
to country.
It's more emotional when you hear original music that you personally might be picking and dropping it in the film. That's a big deal. He has a great look, a great sound. Man, you can make it so fast. You're doing great things. And you second guess yourself. That makes no sense to me. Because if you could see what we 3 see, then you would just sit back and enjoy the ride.
True, Eddie.
Well, I hope so. I mean, I'm praying, it's, as you know, this last year, I've been through a lot of stuff, I mean, it's like this day today, 2 years ago, I buried my son, right?
So sorry.
My older son. And then Carol also passed away 2 months ago, around this time. So it's been a lot of things, but I still feel very blessed in general because of everything. I mean, I'm still doing okay. I've got the dogs, I've got the house, I've got myself, I've got my friends. I've reconnected with Marcus over all these years.
And he has you. He
And
has
you
you
guys.
guys. You guys.
And you guys.
We got
guys.
you.
Yeah, well, I remember when I first met you, I just knew we had a special connection, all
We
of
did.
us. And I love your little girls are just so cute. I
Thank
mean,
you.
little Annalise is so cute and so animated for when I met her at the Opry, a little girl, 5 years old, 6 years old, whatever.
Yeah.
She's so mature, like an adult, the way she talks and everything. It's a riot. Okay.
Thank you.
Then you were there with the little baby that literally you just gave birth to 6 weeks before. I mean, that took a lot, man, to do that. Okay.
It took a lot from her or me too. Her? Who you
Oh God. That's funny. No, but anyway, I felt
we
very
love having
nice.
them involved in music, and we're really careful about the musicians we have them around, because we used to shoot our show out of our house on Music Row, and we just love having you around, man. You're like a family member, a media report, and we're so glad you two guys are together, and we're going to start building it up, get you some people out there, and coming out tomorrow night.
I know when I heard
Saturday
that,
night.
yes, when I heard that an interview got canceled for you, I had so many radio stations that are like, oh my gosh, we're full, but can we interview Eddie next week
So
or the
you
week
are
after?
stocked up on interviews.
Yes, it's so funny because I was panicking. I said, well, we need to interview Eddie because we need to
We
promote
do.
this big deal that he's doing tomorrow at the Troubadour in Nashville.
Uh-huh.
And with the Music City Christian Fellowship, they're such great people, and it's going to be an amazing show. Everybody loves it every year, and it's just like going to the Opry. It's like coming home. It's just
Oh,
Wow.
wonderful people getting together, and it's always a positive message that people within that group of people, they're going to be so kind, and they just love seeing each
And
other.
like
It's
Marcus
going to be
said,
so fun.
there's nobody like him right now.
Oh no.
Scott Borchetta, the founder of Big Machine Records, is really close with his family. I used to watch a ranch go out of town. I've done some cool stuff with them, and I had him on the red carpet for the Glenn Campbell documentary right after Glenn had passed. And I said, Scott, I said, let me ask you a question. What's the one thing you look for? What's one thing I can pass this around? This is 9 years ago. And he said, individuality. He said, if I have a Tim McGraw and there's already another Tim McGraw, I don't want him. I want the only one. You're the only one in town, dude.
Right. You're not a copycat.
You're not it. People might come and copy you. You got to watch out for that.
Yeah, he's not.
You're totally.
He's so original. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, and you're charming, man. You're charming. You look like you've already made it. You look like you've been a hit maker in town for 50 years. So I think.
And you're polished, and you have so much energy.
Yeah.
And I think you're in country music for the right reason.
And a cool name.
I know.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. Let's talk about how you guys met, because you've been longtime friends.
Question.
You've been longtime friends, and this is amazing. And I know Eddy said, I haven't seen Marcus in so long, and it's so great that he's going to be there in Nashville with me, because again, Marcus has this amazing career in music, which is just astounding. And it's one we feel blessed to be talking to both of you.
Mm-hmm.
But
like a twofer.
I know. So where did you guys meet?
Well, we met in school, and we used to, like any junior high kid, giggle,
In Long Island.
Yeah, and he had probably the coolest Mustang, which all the women loved. And that's actually how I met my girlfriend at that time, through his Mustang. It was a double date.
Nice.
And we also were writing little songs. He was writing songs at that time. He was 14, 15 years old, and I would transcribe them and everything. And we went to Decca Records. He knew somebody at Decca Records, his aunt who worked there, I believe, right?
My cousin was an executive secretary at Decca Records.
These two little kids, they gave us permission in school to leave school to go to Decca Records with this little sheet music in New York City. And we're there at Decca Records, and the A&R guy had a light. There was like a red light, and we're sitting there, and they were reading, I guess, the tape, listening to the tape, or looking at the music, And I know the cousin came out, and she went like this. She goes, "Very good." We were kids,
Yeah, that's exciting.
So
That's a
it
great
was a
story
beautiful
shared
thing.
together.
Well,
beautiful.
Yeah, well, what precipitated it was, on my album, the song Donna.
Yes.
Well, Donna was the girl I fell in love with in high school, and I wrote the song Donna about her. And then Marcus helped me. He orchestrated the song. In fact, that's the record. We actually cut an acetate record and brought it with us to Decca Records in Manhattan.
Oh my goodness.
And
15 years old.
15 years old. We couldn't even
That's
drive a car.
incredible.
We took the train in from Long Island and went to Decca Records, went downtown, and my cousin received us. We went up in the building, and we were both sitting there not knowing what to think. And that's kind of, then, I wrote a lot of those songs. I wrote all those 50 some odd years ago, more than 50 years ago, 55, 60, 56, 57 years ago, that we updated in the album and so on that you hear now. But Marcus was right at the very beginning of this thing, right in the beginning.
And you said that Donna had reached out to you, and she said, "Why didn't you ever tell me how you felt?"
Yeah, she did. But I did. We talked for a long time. But let's put it this way: no cigar, okay? It's just not there. But it's like, it was a very sweet, I would say, very puppy love story at the time. You know what I mean? And
That's how the Rip Van Winkle fits in here, because he called me so many times over the years saying, I have all these, these songs. And I'm like, here we go again, more stuff, and because I was doing so many movies. And then he said he wrote Donna again. And I'm like, oh my God, he re-recorded Donna again? We're so much older now. And he sent me the recording, and he sounded exactly like he sounded in high school.
That is so cool.
He's so much older now, and he sounds like he has like this voice that came out of, I don't know where it came from, but it's the same. Like
it's healthy living. Eddy is a very healthy person.
It's so crazy.
I am. I'm trying, and I've been through some things. I've had some my bouts with things, but again, I feel pretty blessed. And I told Mark, we were actually, before discussing this, we were talking about, like, I was saying, like, whoever thought back then, like, where the paths in life would take us, right? Because we were young, we were kids, right? So he, as a child, was always destined for music. He was a piano prodigy at 7 years old or 5 years old. He was in music competitions, playing piano. So he was always destined for music, as was another friend of ours, a gentleman named Vinny Giordano. You look him up, Vinnie Giordano and the Nighthawks. They do all the old big band sound songs
In New York City.
in New York City
The
and in
Governor, and
movies and stuff.
all the Martin Scorsese movies, you
Right,
know.
right. So you look him
Cop
up.
Club.
Second favorite director. Martin
Yes,
Scorsese.
well, look up Vinnie Giordano and the Nighthawks because he's a big old-time band guy. So when we were kids, he was always destined for music. Vinny was destined for music. I didn't know what I was doing. I was just sort of there. And then as time went by and everybody left high school, I just worked in different jobs all around the mall and this and that. Then finally, my father just drove me to the Navy recruiter. He says, listen, you don't know what you're doing, so we're going to drop you off at the recruiter. No, really. So I wound up joining the Navy. And I
Thank you for
became
your service.
well, that's all right. I became a meteorologist and I had a lot of fun. Well, I'm not going to tell you how, but I had a lot of fun in California. Okay. I was at the Naval Postgraduate School. I had a kind of a big life. But then I came back and then life took over, got married, had children, had a job, did all that. Then the music thing just sort of took a big back seat after all the years. And then all of a sudden, 3 years ago, just out of the blue, I found my producer, Darren, and I walked in his studio with my little guitar and I just started playing some of these songs.
Great.
And he scratched, he said, wait a minute, I think we got something here. And then from there, that's how that album was created. And that's when I contacted Marcus again after I recreated these songs with
Look what
Mark
I did.
Darren.
I know, and they're beautiful recordings. You and your producer are doing such a great job collaborating, and I know moving forward, everybody that you work with is just going to be so great because your sound is just it's so relatable.
I want people to go out. Let's tell people where he's going to play at, what time he's going to go. I want people to go out and hear him in person tomorrow. Because the good thing about it, the area you're in, and when everybody goes to the Opry area, there it is out there.
Yeah.
Give them the details. I don't want to give the wrong details. I never do. I'll mess it up.
You're funny.
You got to learn your limitations. That's what Clint Eastwood
I
says.
think he's funny. You'd be a
That's
good
true. That's true.
you're a good host. You're a good host, TJ. You're a great host. Like
You are a great host.
you'd be great on the Wheel of Fortune, man. Like taking
I
Ryan.
would love
Seacrest.
that, right? I
You're
can't
great,
tell what
yeah.
the crap unless I'm watching Wheel of Fortune and I know every darn word. I can't figure it out.
You know what? I got to tell you something. They reinvented that show much better than it was.
Do
And
that.
my parents used to watch it. I'd watch it, but they with Ryan and Vanna. Who would have thought
I
that team
haven't
would have
seen the
worked?
new one yet.
Yeah, it's really nice. We all
It's
thought
great.
Pat's daughter was going to come up, but Vanna's still with it. I mean,
Vanna's
really-
great.
and Ryan does so much in Nashville. He does so much with the Children's Hospital that he's
Oh,
in there all
yeah.
the time. Such a big deal.
Vanderbilt. Yeah.
Nice thing, yeah.
Yeah,
Very
such a
good.
dude. Such a good guy. I like people that actually give back.
Yes.
Yes.
So you're going to be at the Troubadour. It's Saturday, December 13th, and
Yes.
people can buy tickets at the door. And
Yep.
the music begins at 4:30 p.m.
Oh
And
my.
there's going to be so many people on stage, and you're one of them, and it's going to be amazing. And
I hope-
it's actually it's a Christmas show, which is exciting.
Food, right?
It's not yeah, they're going to have food, but it's not
Including
just
your ticket.
it's,
I'm just,
yeah,
I'm not
it's
even
not just
hungry.
it's not going to be necessarily Christmas music, but it's music that relates to everybody, just like your music.
They have food. You got to tell people that have food.
Right.
They're
It's
having food is included with your ticket.
food's included.
Yes.
It is.
Yes.
People drop $50 on a dinner and then show up and they have chicken.
Yep.
We went to
So go there hungry.
we went there to the Tammy Wynette, what was the 50th reunion or the anniversary, and we went there for that. We got invited to that. Bobby Braddock, huge songwriter. She stopped loving him today. He stopped
Yes.
loving her today. All these people, and we're friends
We
with
got
his,
interviews with so
we're
many
friends with
people.
George Jones's daughter, and and I was like, and then I
George
knew Bobby.
Lennon.
Yeah, I'm friends with Bobby's daughter. We're with the same acting agency in Nashville, and I said, "Is that Bobby?" And she said, "Yeah." I said, "Do you think he would do an interview?" Because nobody recognizes these classic people that are out there. And he did. He did such a good interview, man. It was so great. You'll be surprised at the people in that strip mall. Call it a strip mall. That's what it is. You'll be so surprised who comes and goes.
Eddie actually
And,
said that Elvis played at the Troubadour.
That's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he did years ago. I read the whole thing about it. Yeah, many famous people walked through that little old door in
A lot
there.
of people live out there, man. A lot of people live in the Hermitage area because there's nowhere else to live. They don't live in Franklin. And
Plus, if you're a frequenter to the Opry, then it's better to live within that area because Nashville is a pretty sprawling city. So, Marcus, can I talk about some of your background? Because I want to talk about some of your background, Marcus, because it's so incredible, just the things that you've done, and you're with the film music group and music motion picture supervisor. and you worked with MGM, ABC, MTV, A&E, Comedy Central Networks, films, sounds, and these are just like unbelievable. Now, when you began music, like Eddy said, you know, being a pianist, did you think that you would was movies doing
7 years
soundtracks?
old.
Yeah,
7 years
Yeah,
old.
I knew it. I knew it.
that you wanted to do?
Because my mother was what do you call it? A filmophile, right? A filmophile.
Mhm.
And my room was loaded with biographies of Hollywood movie producers and stuff. So I was equally, when I had a piano next to the TV, I would equally watch television as much as I would play piano. So, and I had a record player, so it was
Wow.
the visual and the shows and the motion pictures were very important to me. So thank you for asking that. By the way, I think you guys are great hostesses. You're so
you.
wonderful. And,
Who's better?
I thank you. I thank you for having me. I
Thank you
really
very
do.
much.
I
Yes.
appreciate you including me. Yeah.
That's a compliment.
Well, I really, besides that, Marcus, I really want to kind of delve into this because it's just amazing. Did you start out in Los Angeles? You moved to Los Angeles, and then how did you get into the business? Did you just start?
I went to music college. Okay, university. Okay, on the East Coast, and then I wanted to do media music. I knew I wanted to do what's called media music. I
Mhm.
went to New York. I went to New York City. I became a session player, playing on other people's records as a player, and then eventually I started writing a couple of TV themes for Paramount Pictures, and I ended up in Los Angeles and got a house there, and I started that, and then eventually became a session player there. But I still wanted to do movies, and then I got an offer in 1992 to I had a choice. I could have it was Columbia TriStar. It was a big company, and
Oh,
there was a new division there, and they said you could either be a music supervisor and we'll give you 8 pictures a year and you'll be in that room over there as an executive, or you could be a composer and line up with thousands of composers here and you can do one movie every 8 years. So what do you want to do?
Right.
So I chose being a music supervisor, which also gave me the opportunity to keep writing and sticking my little songs in all these different movies. So
Wow.
that list of movies like Dumb and Dumber and Behind Enemy Lines, I mean, that's stuff I worked on and as an executive. So I was at Columbia TriStar, MPCA, and then Orion Pictures. I was exec in charge of music. So it kind of just worked that way out.
You
I think
talked
what's in
about
your soul. I think
Scorsese.
it comes from I think it's when you're young. It comes from your soul. Whatever is there already is going to come out, reemerge later on in life. I believe that. So I was playing and music and everything, but the movies were also sitting there waiting.
And then
So
how did you pick these movies for the films? Because we've seen.
I didn't. I was an executive at the company.
Okay. So what
I
did you
was
do?
I was in charge of every aspect of music, like in Dumb and Dumber. In Dumb and Dumber, I was in charge of all the pre-production music. Okay,
I
Jim
won an
Carrey.
award for that movie one time, actually. I've seen Dumb and Dumber more times than any other grown man in America.
Huh.
Great movie, man.
It is
When they
Like
get frozen on the mini bike,
Mockingbird. Like Mockingbird, I had to clear the license on Mockingbird.
I bet that was a tough.
So I was doing a lot of legal, like a
But it was
lot
perfect
of
for the
legal stuff.
movie. It was
Yep.
perfect for the movie.
Oh,
They
yeah.
were a little back and forth, back and forth.
And Mockingbird, yeah. But I did a lot of movies like that, and that was my job, and just to make sure everybody worked together. The music, the songs, the soundtrack, the composer. Sometimes I threw songs in there. Occasionally I was a composer. So
That is amazing. And now
Thank
you're
you.
working as an independent music
Yeah, I've been
supervisor.
independent. Yeah, when Orion was absorbed by MGM, I became independent. So, which is more fun actually. So
How would you
and you
say-
can travel, right?
How would you say?
yeah, I did a Bollywood movie, which was incredible. The Bollywood was amazing. It
Oh,
was just so much fun. So,
How would you say Tulsa King differs from, say, Yellowstone or like Landman, like their music?
it's who's
close to
yeah. Yeah, thank you for asking that question. It's who's leading. I learned very early in Hollywood to really every movie is different. Every creative group in a movie is totally different. A television show too. It's a
Yeah.
sense of, it's like a circus. It's like a new circus, a new circus, a new circus, and you have to deal with that. Well, how do you deal with that? There's a rule. There's a rule. I made this rule up. The movie or TV show is either studio driven, actor driven, or director driven. Okay. So with Taylor Sheridan, Kevin Costner and Taylor really sewed those stories together. Okay. Kevin Costner has an amazing affinity for the West. Okay. Like Robert Redford. Okay. That he loves the West, Dancing with Wolves, you know. So him and Taylor really sewed that together. With Tulsa King, it's Stallone and Taylor Sheridan, but I could see
It's a little Stallone
I could see
driven.
Stallone leading a little more. I think
Yeah.
that's more actor driven. I think,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? I think
I can tell he loves his role, man. He loves his role. So
because there's so much of this slides in there like a
all
gangster,
these
you
little
know.
things he has going. It's so
A lot of hand
so
gestures.
Stallone. It's,
Yeah.
He's great.
it's phenomenal.
You know, so it's very interesting. So
Okay, cool. Thanks for answering that question. I would have thought about that at 3 a.m. I would have called you. You'd been asleep, and I had to wait till tomorrow when Eddie's on stage. I would have called you. Okay.
Eddie, you have a Christmas song, and let's talk about it because it is the season. Christmas is right around the corner, and you decided to do a Christmas song, and you even are thinking about a new one. But let's talk about the one now that you have out on digital distribution that people can listen to.
Yeah, it's called Under My Christmas Tree. And I guess I wrote that now about 2 years ago, I guess. But it's been out and I heard it played. And on my latest radio interview, they played it. So, yeah, I think it's a nice song. It's a little sad, but I mean, again, it's all about lost love again. You know, here we go. I'm always on the same theme, you know, but people seem to like the song. You know, it's a sweet song. And it's getting some airplay around thanks to you guys. And that's what we're doing. So.
Christmas songs, if they're sad, they're kind of better. I don't know why.
Well, maybe.
It's not even anything we should be saying, but it is kind of true.
It's kind of true. It's about lost love at Christmas,
It could be a
wishing
lonely
somebody
time.
was under
Absolutely.
your Christmas tree, you know. So, do you have your Christmas tree up? Do you have your Christmas tree up
My
yet?
daughter decorates everybody's.
November 1st. We had
November
it up.
1st. She wanted it up for
Yeah.
Halloween. And she goes
That's
the next
funny.
day to my mom and dad's house and she puts their tree up and other decorations.
That's a
Oh,
riot. That's
She
cute.
loves birthdays. We're so grateful this is her birthday because she gets as excited about anybody else's birthday than she does her own. She loves birthdays.
She said, Mommy, are we decorating for Father's Day? I said, sure. Get the streamers, baby. We're doing it. Yeah.
By the way,
we do so many ribbon cuttings around town. We have a big open concept in our house. So she puts up the crepe paper, and we have scissors, and she wants everybody to do a ribbon cutting now when it's her birthday.
that is funny.
That's so funny.
We've taken her to so many ribbon cuttings. We go to a lot of events with our kids, and even like when a house is being built, she says, "Mommy, are they going to have a ribbon cutting?" Because
That's funny.
everything is new, so it's it's exciting.
How old is your daughter? How
She'll
old
be
is she?
7 on Sunday.
Aw.
She's been backstage at the Grand Ole Opry 6 times. I always answer my phone when it rings, and I was out washing our cars and our dog in the front yard like a redneck. But we're on Music Row, and I was just so smelly. And my phone rang and it said United Kingdom on a Sunday afternoon. I'm like, who in the world? So I answered. I said, hey, it's TJ. And he said, hey, TJ, this is so-and-so with whatever tour. They had an artist play. They rented out the Opry. They had no media there.
It was for Peppa Pig.
It's hard to get. It's hard to get that. So I said, Jill, can we go backstage to the Opry and we can do that? I didn't take a shower. I smelled like a wet dog, but I put my suit on.
I think she was 4 or 5 years old.
They gave us the Johnny Cash and June suite, the little dressing room, and we had Annalisa with no shoes on, and it was a beautiful picture. It's one of our most favorite times.
That's cool. That's cool.
That was a long answer, but yes, our tree is up.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
It is.
Well,
do you guys have your stuff decorated for the holiday coming up?
Yeah, my kids are doing it. Yeah.
I love it.
Good.
We absolutely love it.
I put a Christmas tree up too for me and my dogs.
Good for you, man.
You need to.
They're in a little doggy hotel right now. I had to put the 2 of them in a dog hotel. First time they've ever been away, you know. So I checked on them today. They said, "Oh, they're doing fine. You know, they're playing with the other dogs, so they'll live." So I get back Sunday. So that's the first time they've ever been away from home ever.
Yeah.
They're in your mind, man. They're fine. I leave my dogs with that. I'd never done that before.
I know we were really nervous about that too when we traveled.
They used to travel with us,
but they can play with other dogs and it's fun for them. It's like going to a dog park, but a safe dog park because all the dogs they make sure they have their shots and they're nice other dogs. So
exactly.
they check all that stuff out for you.
So what are y'all doing tonight?
Actually, we're gonna go back to the room,
Probably
chill
sleep.
out, go to bed. We're dying.
I only slept for an hour last night. He slept for like 2
Yeah,
hours.
you were
I think.
traveling.
Yeah, I'm
Marcus,
tired.
where did you travel from? Was it Florida or Los Angeles?
Yeah, Florida, not that far.
What
But
part?
I got up, I got up 4:30 and I had to stay at the airport for a couple of hours. So
Right.
And I got up at 1 o'clock this morning, and I still walked 3 miles at 1 o'clock this morning. I did.
Wow.
I did my 3 miles. I did all my stuff like I normally do. I was in the car at 3:30. I drove to the airport, checked in, and made it to the flight on 5 o'clock in the morning.
Well, y'all guys go get some rest. I'm going to head to the rodeo and jump on a bull.
Okay.
okay,
Jesus, don't hurt yourself, buddy.
be careful.
I probably won't, but if I do, I'll get better.
Oh my. Okay.
So,
Okay.
Edward, we're so excited that you're in Nashville. Your second time in Nashville performing on stage, another big stage, another incredible stage, which everybody's going to love
Lot of
your
history.
music. Yes, they're going to love your song. Everybody's going to love you on stage tomorrow at the Troubadour. It's going to be so exciting. And you're
Thank
going to
you.
network, and please take so many pictures because we can't wait to share them with everybody. And Marcus, thank you for being there. You're
Thank
just
you.
Thanks.
not only as a friend, but also as the business person that you are in music and taking Eddy's music even farther to television and film. We're just so excited for
Big
him.
deal, man. It's exciting.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for putting up with my seriousness. I
You're
tend to get very
great.
I tend to
You're
get very
serious about your
serious.
career, man.
No, you're great. You're great. You're there.
Thank
It's
you.
business. This is business. And Eddy's so lucky to have you. And just thank you both for all you're doing in the music industry. We really appreciate
Thank
it.
you guys very much.
Thank you so much.
We'll talk again, okay?
All right. TJK's Nashville Entertainment Weekly.
Jill Santibanez and
Eddy Delmonico.
Marcus Barone.
Awesome. Thanks, man.
thank you both.